Hey guys, welcome to the You're Not Alone podcast. And today I have my good friend Jane. She's going to be speaking a little bit about her life and her journey. Could you tell the podcast a little bit about yourself, Jane?
Hi, my name is Jane. I'm here to tell you about my life Jane story. It's a quite long story, but I'll try to short it cut.
We don't mind, Jane.
Yeah. So, my name is Jane. I grew up in a family that I was raised by a single mom because they get divorced with my father. So when my mom was telling me when I grew up, she said I was born asthmatic. So in asthmatic, there's a challenge of breathing and all the stuffs. So I grew up with that disease for a long time. I would go in and out the hospital, being admitted for so many days or for months. But I just want to tell you about this story. It was in 1991. I got sick and I was admitted at the hospital. But the doctor says, so no, you can take him home because your lungs and all the infection has gone wrong. So take it to your home so you can take it as a home basic care. I get sick. I was sick. I was very sick. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't eat. And the day I last remember, I just passed out. But during that time, it was on Monday when I passed out. I don't know if I died or I passed out. But I definitely, my mom said I died because the funeral has been arranged and the doctors confirmed that I'm dead. But what happened is that my brother was staying in another city. So he says, no, don't bury her until I come with the coffin. So, it was in a rural area. So there was a lot of arguments. Some said we have to bury her without a coffin, but my brother insists also that, no, wait for me, I'm coming. It was on Monday. When I was that dead, what I'm saying, I died because it was like a dream to me. I saw myself running in a quiet place. That place was so green on the sides of the road, but that road was not that big, it was narrow. I ran and I ran and I ran until I reached, there was a big fence there. And on that fence, I stood, there was a big gate. So a man come out with holding a book, a very big book. He come to me and said, what are you doing here? And said, no, I want to go to the other side. I'm seeing those people are enjoying themselves because on the other side of the fence, there were people singing and enjoying themselves. So I said, I want to go to that side. I also want to sing and dance.
Yeah.
And that person said, wait. So he opened the book and said, I can't find your name. Your name is not here. So it's not your time. Why are you doing here?
Go back.
I said, no, I have to resist because I want to go there.
Yeah.
Said, no, you have to go back now. I said, no, I want to go there. So he said, no, you are not supposed to be here. You are supposed to be back where you come from. And when we're arguing about that, there's another man came. He was holding a Bible. So he gave me the Bible and said, take this and run very fast. Don't look back, just run. I grabbed the Bible, but I was so sad because I want to
Yeah, you want to go party with them.
I want to go and party with those people.
Yeah.
So I would grab my Bible, then I ran. But that time, my feet were not reaching the ground. It was like I was running
On air.
on air. So I ran very fast. The moment I was about to be at home or around the area where my body was lying, I just see a lot of people, many relatives. But my brother was not yet there. I saw a lot of people gathering, and people were cooking. And it was now my funeral. So when I got there, I feel like there's someone, like a force that pushed me
Back into your body.
back into my body. So when I wake up, the first thing I ask, where is my Bible?
You didn't ask where am I, or
I ask, where is my Bible? You know, when there's funeral in our culture, people will be in the house singing and doing all those things. But the moment I wake up, I just saw my mom. She was the only one in the room. That means everyone ran away.
yeah, I would too if I just saw someone just get back up and you're like,
So everyone ran away and they were standing outside.
Yeah.
So I would ask them, I have a Bible. Someone gave me my Bible. Where is my Bible? And my mom said, no, we didn't see any Bible. By that time, no one
Gave you a Bible.
gave me a Bible. So they said, there's no Bible. No one gave you a Bible. But me, I know my spirit was given a Bible.
Yeah, and
So I need my Bible. So right now, right as I'm talking here, there's my empty grave there. In our culture, if they dig the grave, they'll put something inside and cover it back. So that's my story.
is that just because, so when there's an empty grave and let's say they're misdiagnosed with you dying, do they just put something inside and rebury it, and then when you die, they put you in the same?
No, you are not going to be buried in the same grave.
Oh, okay.
They will dig another grave. It's only that when in our culture they say if they dug a grave,
Yeah.
if that person got up and something happens or the relative says no, we want to bury it to another site, they'll just put something like a log or anything in that.
Okay. So something is buried in there.
Yes, so something, that thing, it represent me in that thing. So they cover it up. If they don't fill it up, they will leave it like that, but they will be inside in that grave. And when the rain comes, it will fill it. It will fill it.
They don't touch it. They'll let nature.
Yes, they will cover it up. So, but on my issue, mine was covered. So that is my story. After that incident, my brother take me to the city to stay with me because.
So your brother eventually came.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because of the environment,
Yeah.
people were giving me names.
Yeah.
That he was dead and he come and she's a witch and all the stuffs. People talk bad about me. So my brother take me to the city. When he take me to the city, that is where we were going to the church by that time. My first incident, that the manifestation of that Bible.
Yeah, it was still there.
Yes. I was given, it was a youth conference. When one of the pastors just said to me, I see a lady here. He didn't know my story. I see a lady here. When I see her, I see there's a grave that was dug for him, but the Lord sent her back. There's a lady like that. So I stood up, and that pastor says, you know what, my daughter? You have a job. You have to serve the Lord. I said, okay. By that time, I didn't understand it because I was too young. I want to enjoy myself.
Yeah. Like we all do.
How can you say I have a job for the Lord? I'm still young. I don't know what to do. So I grew up, and that manifestation comes to come, and I go back again to that our rural place. Then I stayed there with my mom. But that thing was always coming to me because I don't have there was no church, there was no branch of our church in the rural area. So I start with my mom, like we were discussing, like we do Bible study. By then, my mom was not saved. Yeah, he grew up drinking and all the stuffs. So I start with my mom to do Bible study, just read the Bible and we pray and we go to sleep. But when the times goes on, I went back to the city and there was this preacher said, the Lord doesn't see you as young, but he see you as a grown person in his things. Wherever you are, wherever you stay, you can start a church. I said, wow.
You can start preaching wherever you.
So I can preach. By then I was so shy. I grew up very shy. I grew up very shy. By then that manifestation was starting. I was being given to a position to lead in the youth. I was the chair lady for youth. So we go to the conference, youth conference. By then that was my first time to attend that big conference. It was for the whole Zimbabwe.
Yo.
So when we got there, I was Form 2 by then, if I'm not mistaken. Form 2, Form 3. Yeah. So I went there, but there was a preacher on our side. She was supposed to preach, but she gets sick.
No, so you have to.
So she gets sick.
Yeah.
So our youth pastor came to our dorm. You know, you girls, you will be enjoying doing all fun things. Then she called me. She said, Sister Jane, can you please come here? I go there and said, you know, Sister Memory is not feeling well. I said, okay, yeah, I know. She's sleeping. I said, so you're going to preach?
Yeah. you, not me, you.
I said, no, but you're the pastor. I said, no, you are going to preach. We argue about that. I said, there's no change. You know, that was my first time. I couldn't eat the lunch because I was supposed to preach at night.
You were nervous.
I was so nervous. I was confused. All the verses that I know in my head,
it was just gone.
was blank.
Yeah.
So I have to go and sleep. I said, don't come to the afternoon service. Go and prepare. You know, it was quite I can't explain what I was feeling. I was shaking.
You were put into this position that you weren't even ready for, and now you were just introduced as a preacher, and you were now just coming into this new church, and now you got to preach to the whole of Zimbabwe, and now you're gonna be like, okay, no, it's pressure.
So I just said to myself, God help me. What I say when I was going on the stage. You were not supposed to preach in Shona. If it was Shona, it was quite easy for me.
Yeah.
But you were supposed to preach in English.
That's even worse.
So that everyone will understand what you are saying. Because they were developed.
Yeah.
A lot of languages.
Shame, man.
So when I go to the founder of the church, he was there.
Now even more pressure because he's there as well.
He's watching, and all the pastors, they are watching. Sure. But I thank God because when I went there to the stage to preach, the Holy Spirit filled me. I could hear that I'm not me.
Yeah.
There's someone who's speaking.
Taken over.
Yes. I preach. It was not a long message, but
Short and sweet is what they say.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember my pastor saying, yeah, you do very well because you preach for almost 40 minutes. That's great for a start. So I preached there. That is where I received the Holy Spirit to speak in tongues. That is where I received the Holy Spirit. Or the pastor come and pray for me. And they said, now you can go and do God's work. But you can do better than what you did to do.
Yeah.
Just give yourself to God.
Yeah. Give time to it as
Yes.
you learn His way.
You have to learn. So that was another incident. So I went back to my rural area. I stayed there. But as teenager,
Yeah, you just you want to enjoy life. No, there's no responsibilities.
Yeah. So I forget about all those things. Yes, I was going to church, but I forget that I have a part that I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I forget that. Doing my things, all the stuffs, all enjoying myself. I got married.
How old was this now, Jen?
I got married when I was 19 years.
So in the span time of 4 or 5 years, you died, you went and you spoke to Jesus, and then also got married. That is
Yes.
crazy, Jane.
I got married. When there are situations that force you to go into an early marriage.
Yeah. Your family's talking.
Yes, there are situations that you go into a family. My mom was single, and I couldn't continue with my studies because there was no money. I couldn't work.
Yeah.
So you see, so just when someone said, "Love you, I love you, I want to marry me," I see that as an achievement.
Yeah. You saw opportunity.
Yes. So I just say, okay. I got married to my husband. I moved away from my mom and go and stay with my husband. When I got there, all this, when you go into an environment that there was no one want to go to church, and now you are going into new rules.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I have to stay.
Yeah. Because you were just got with your husband and
Yeah. Because my husband always was drunk and all the stuffs. He doesn't know what is Jesus. He doesn't know the salvation.
And you need to look after the house and everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
So I go when I have my firstborn. After my firstborn, just go to have I'm a designer for myself. I design my clothes and all the stuff. So I went to the college and do that cutting design. So after that, I almost forget that I'm a Christian.
Yeah. And sometimes we all do forget like the path, but then he has another way of bringing you back onto it.
I forget that I'm a Christian. So I would stay home and do all of my stuff, not going even to church, not even praying. So one day when I was walking through another area, just saw a church. Said, I want to go to this church. I go to that church. Only in 3-4 months in that church,
You became the preacher.
not the preacher. I was being selected as the leader for the woman. Now I'm into leadership again.
Yeah.
So I start, when you are a leader, you preach, you go to the meetings and all that. I'm the one who was walking beside our pastor's wife. When she goes everywhere, everything, I have to preach After that, I was ordained as an elder in the church again.
After a couple of months.
After just a couple of months. I said, okay, fine. But in that church, I made a challenge. Because, I'm a new person in that church. Already I've got a lot of position in that church. So the senior elders, they start that thing of being harassing. If I preach, they'll come and say, what you preach
Yeah.
was not good.
They were more like look down on what you...
Yes. You are not supposed to preach like that. You should come to us so that we can teach you how to preach. Next time, don't preach that chapter. And I said, no, I don't preach for you only, but I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
They said, no, you don't. From that time, they couldn't give me the platform to preach.
Yeah, because they didn't want you to.
They didn't want me to preach. So I stayed there for quite long in that church with all those stuffs and all those things that was happening. And it was a point time that I was being poisoned in that church. When there was a gathering, they just give the food, and it was got poison that food. I get sick again. I was sick, very, very, very sick. We went to the doctors, and the doctor said, no, we can't see anything. Every test, you can't see anything. I've got that time to myself, like, say, Lord, just take me.
Yeah.
I'm in pain. I couldn't eat.
Yeah.
I couldn't drink even water. If I take water,
Yeah, you couldn't move either. Or
it come out.
Yeah.
So I said, Lord, just take me. I'm tired and I'm sick. I can't take it anymore. So the pastor that was on the church, the day that I slept the whole night. If my husband was here, he could say, I was so worried because he was shaking. Here and there, he used to say, are you still there? Are you still there? Because that night I was very, very sick. And I was praying for my soul.
Just to be given.
Yeah, just because I was tired.
Yeah.
I was so tired. Early, around 5 o'clock, my pastor came to knock on the door. And said, are you still there? I said, yes. I said, the Lord sent me to you. I've got a message for you. The Lord said, you are healed. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
How can I just be healed?
Yeah.
And I'm sick, I'm so thin and...
Yeah, so healed.
Just, you are healed. I said, okay. I said, come. He prayed for me. And by the end of that day, I was walking. So when I was well again on my feet, I said, no, let me leave this church. I'll die.
Yeah, you physically will because someone tried to poison you.
I'll die.
Yeah.
So let me just go out and stay. Then after I got out of that church, I go to Botswana. Went to Botswana as a maid. I stayed there for a long time, not going to church, not doing anything, just
just me, just normal me.
Yeah. So I stayed there for a long time in Botswana. Then I came back again, Zim. I was not going to church. So there's this other day when another preacher, like they've got a crusade in our area.
Yeah.
It was a 7-day crusade. My children were saying, Mom, let's go to church. I said, no, you can go.
Yes.
I'm not going there. Mom, let's go. I said, no, you can go. So there's one day, I said it was on Saturday, that was the last day for the crusade. I said, let me go to church.
Yeah.
When I go to that church, you know what the pastor says?
Where have you been?
She said, the one I was waiting for is here today.
Yeah.
And
Now you're thinking, who's he talking about? Yeah.
you use that because we give life to Jesus, we are about 5 of us. But so who is that? And he said 1, but we are 5 of us. I don't know. Next Sunday we go to church. And after 1 week, that pastor says, the Lord says to me, I should send you for a Bible school.
Mm.
I said, but I don't have money. He said, no, it's not your problem.
Yes.
I'm going to take you there, and you register me at the Bible college. I do my certificate in leadership. It was certificate in leadership. After that, I went for 4 years to do my diploma. Still in that church. But the way that I said, now you are going to stay in this church, but there's somewhere you are going
To go preach somewhere else.
to go and preach somewhere. So me, I just do my assignment.
Just did what you told.
Yes.
You were just doing you, and
I'm just doing my assignment. So you are going somewhere.
yeah.
So after I finish my diploma, we stay then the church, and I have to say the Lord speaks to no, this is not the place to stay anymore.
Yeah.
You have to go somewhere. So I go, I say my goodbyes, and he
then
blessed me. I said, I know you're going somewhere, so you have to go and do the work of God.
yeah.
So I'm now in the church that I went. We start this church from 0
to 100.
Yes.
0 to 100.
Yes. From 0. I remember when we start this ministry, it was me and another in my family and another family. Now that family is also a pastor in the church, but the other brother is now a prophet. We've got his own ministry. So we just that few in the
Yeah.
house.
But it's amazing how so little can affect so many. Jane, from just hearing from your story now, I mean, you're right. It is quite a bit of a story, but each part of the story, like, it shows me how much character you built over the years of what you've gone through. If there was any certain words that you had to describe, like, what you went through, or like what gets you through, what would it be?
Oh, it was so hectic.
Yeah.
It was so hectic. I was just cutting off.
Yeah.
Because if I could write a book.
Yeah, I know. At this point,
So it was so hectic. But through all this, I learned something, that if you wear a gold necklace, it doesn't start as a necklace, nice necklace that you go and bought in the shop.
yeah,
But it was from the ground.
yeah,
The gold from the ground. And to be that nice gold, it was hit
yeah, multiple times to turn
Yes.
into a necklace.
into a necklace.
Yeah,
It goes through fire and all the stuffs. So it gave me encouragement. It makes so strong. And it also gives me faith
yeah, and
and hope.
yeah, and it turned you into
Yes.
a beautiful necklace.
Yes. So that now when someone see me, you just see the outside that I am. But when I say, how do I go out through? Someone said, no, I can't be a preacher.
Yeah,
I can't be a pastor. That's always my children. So you are the pastor, we are not the pastor.
yes,
We can't go through that.
Yeah.
Because you go through hell.
yeah,
So it was so hard for me. But there's one thing that I learned, that in every situation, in everything that you go through, no matter hardships or whatever you go through, if you just remember that there's someone behind you,
yeah,
You learn that, and you know that you are always not alone.
And I wanted to say with that a lot of people, even when I went through my tough times, a lot of people say God gives these toughest battles to his strongest warriors.
Yes.
And you can consider yourself as a strong warrior. And then also I heard this thing the one day of a story of a shepherd and his sheep, and one of these sheep, let's just give him a name, Zach. He would go to the mountains, and the sheep would just wander off, and the shepherd would be like, come back. Come back. And the sheep kept on going to the mountains, and one day the shepherd just broke his legs. And now you would think, oh, why must you break the sheep's legs for him to stay still? But the shepherd put the sheep on his shoulders and washed him and cleaned him and fed him and all these things. But the reason why he broke his legs is because on the other side of the mountain were the wolves.
Yes.
And those are the struggles that the shepherd were trying to, because the wolves were ready to devour the sheep, but the sheep couldn't see that. So now the sheep knows I'm better off with the shepherd than being by myself.
By myself, yes.
And that's, for me, that resonates with your story, because at the same time you were put all through these hectic times and whatnot, but when you kept on coming back to God.
Yes.
And every time you didn't know it at first, but and then eventually you're like, I'm better with him when I'm not with him.
Yes, that's true.
And
that's true.
And for me, that's quite cool to know that I heard that story the other day, and it's funny now that it comes to light with your story.
Yeah.
Which means he's telling me that this was meant to be. This was me being able to hear your story and learning that, I'm going to put Jane on this podcast, and she's going to preach what she went through, and it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah, because some of the people, they get tired along the way because it's hectic. It's very hectic. Because in the journey, you find yourself being rejected. You find yourself, people just don't like you.
Yeah.
You
just because you look weird or whatever.
Yeah. They just don't just like you, but we keep pushing towards what we want.
Yeah.
Because if you get tired, or if I get tired, I could not have been today telling my story.
Exactly. And what's a song? Lean on me when you're not strong.
Yeah. Yes.
I wanted to ask you, Jane. It's been so great to listen to your story, and I only find more respect for you in hearing your story, and I thank you for joining me on the podcast. But I would like to ask you this last question, and I generally ask you it at the end because I love hearing what other people have to say about it. But what does "You're Not Alone" mean to you?
You are not alone means a lot to me. Because if I see from my background, it encourages. If you just hear someone say to you, you are not alone, it gives you hope and faith, and it strengthens your spirit. So to me, it gives me hope. In fact, it gives me life.
Yeah.
When you are someone, like you look yourself, you are in a room and you are alone, and someone just came and said you are not alone.
Yeah.
You feel that presence of that someone, but he is invisible. So it gives life. It's life.
It gives you comfort in knowing that, I'm not going through this by myself.
Yes. Yeah. I've got someone who's always by my hand. It's always that by my hand. I remember another story in the Bible of what Miriam, he says to God, we are not going to the battle if you are not going with us.
Exactly.
So there's someone, we can't see him, we can't serve because we can't hear, we can't see him, he's invisible. But we are not alone.
Yeah, because he's with us.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to say thank you, Jane, for joining me on this podcast, and I only wish you nothing but the best. And I understand that you just graduated. Congratulations on that as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Jane.
Thank you, my pleasure.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us on the podcast, and we'll check you next time. Cheers.